Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for a brand new video. So, the update just dropped yesterday. All the new stuff dropping today. The qualifying season for the Battle Royale Brawl. But of course, alongside that, we also have stuff like Saga Incursions and this new Side Quest Alliance War Showcase with Dark Phoenix. But there is no Dark Phoenix in here. I thought there was going to be. I was like, oh god, is she the final boss? But no, it's just a Sersi. So, in the first video here, we're going to be tackling the right side. And my team here is Symbiote Supreme, Absorbing Man, Jean Grey, and Onslaught. So we got 2 Mystics and 2 Mutants. So I highly recommend, bringing in a Mystic champion, whichever one you're most comfortable with. There are a couple of pretty annoying cosmic fights. So the first one up here is Nova. Really, anyone can do this fight. That's not going to matter too much. You do kind of need to intercept him. So someone who can preferably, get rid of his fury buffs, that's going to help. So here I am going to get the falter because I haven't hit him within like 6 seconds. That's alright though. We're going to throw our special 3. And then here, trying to intercept, throw the special 1. Here we actually end up intercepting with the special 2. So that counts. Boom, a little 100k crit on there. Final hit. And then here, I'm just trying to get off another special 2, but I was like, am I gonna? I don't know. I switch modes to the power steal. I pushed him red, and then I go red. I was like, okay, this can work. Skip. He's still not dead. Throw the relic. And now he's dead. Okay, that fight, I've had it go a lot cleaner on some other runs, but hey, man, whatever works. Now, this is why you absolutely need a mutant on your team, because there's this Elsa up next who basically has the suicide masteries. So if you come in here with a non-mutant champion, you're just going to degen for a lot. I mean, you can probably survive the degen. It's probably not going to kill you. But, if you bring in a mutant, you'll be completely immune. You don't have to worry. So, yeah, I brought Jean and Onslaught, 2 super powerful mutants. Yeah, Jean almost finished this fight with just 1 special 2. Quick tap, and she's dead. Her own recoil. 22-second fight. Super quick and easy. Alright, next up, now that we're on the full right side, here we have a Hitmonkey up first with some more ebb and flow knockdown. Also some heavy hitter. So that means when he throws his heavy attack, he's going to be passively unstoppable. So it's not going to be as easy to counter. I think this was like my 3rd time trying this path. The first time I went through, I just used Jean for this, and she did alright. I took some damage, but she got through it just fine. This time I'm opting for Onslaught. I think he's just going to be better here. Yeah, I found him to be a little bit better. Here I take a couple hits, but it's fine. Onslaught is a tank, so here knock him down with the heavy. Throw the special 2, and you can see that's 26,000 ticks of degen, and yeah, he's dead. So, 36 seconds. Rank 4 Onslaught, pretty good. Now this next fight here, we have Knull. Now originally, I used Symbiote Supreme for this fight, and it totally works, but it was about a 4-minute fight. It took a while, So then, on this run, I was like, you know what? Let me just bring in Absorbing Man. I originally had Deathless Thanos on my team on the first run, and I didn't use him for any fight, so I was like, you know what? Let's bring in Absorbing Man just for this Knull. Literally just for this one fight. Because Absorbing Man hard counters a couple champions, and one of them is Knull. Knull, Terrax, Vision Arcus. Absorbing Man is just so good for them. But unfortunately, Knull decided to throw a special 1 here. In my entire 4-minute plus fight against him with Sim Supreme, he didn't throw a single special 1. But right here, he had to throw one. But we just timed our special when the inverse controls would inflict on us, and then we bypassed it. So we don't get inverted controls, which is nice. So what makes Absorbing Man so good is you bait the special 2, then you go medium, light, medium. You apply 4 of those vulnerability passives, and you start to just hit like a freaking truck if you're crits. You see on those crits, we're having like 19k in red. Then boom, bait another special 2. Remax or morph charges, consume them, go for a little relic, go for a heavy special 1 to get some crits, and there we go. Alright, one more combo, should pretty much do the trick here, just waiting for a reparry, and there we go. 6-star Absorbing Man absolutely still has it, dude. He's such a beast. Can't wait for Absorbing Man to be a 7-star. Alright, now we move on to Lumatrix. I would say this is definitely the most difficult fight on this right side here. We have Obstinate Charge, Mixmaster, and also the Fuse node. So if you parry too many times, you're gonna lose a lot of health, which you're gonna see in this fight. You need to be mindful of your parries. Right there, that's a fuse charge. So here I'm going with Jean. Honestly, Onslaught might have been better. I'm not entirely sure. But both Onslaught and Jean should be pretty good, just because, you know, as long as you have Neuroshock applied to the opponent, you don't have to worry about missing. So that's really coming in handy. But Jean and Onslaught both don't really counter the effects of evasion, which is definitely the trickiest thing going on here with this Lumatrix. So everything's going great at this point, but things are about to go wrong. Right there, I parried again too many times, and those fuse charges blew up right in my face, and I took like 40k damage. And then right here, 4 of my Neuroshocks fell off right before I threw this. So didn't really do that much damage. That was also very, very unfortunate. Here we bait out his special 2 though, and then I get stunned. So, you know, that's super cool and fun. I definitely need to get better at fighting Lumatrix. But, yeah, he was definitely the most difficult fight on this path for me. And, like, no other fight even came close. So here I'm just trying to get to my special 2, man. And drop it. Or, I guess, my special 1. Just trying to kill him before I die. So that did a good amount of damage. Then the relic. And a couple hits and he's dead. Push him 3 bars as he dies. Come out of there with 30%. A little sketchy. But, man, Jean Grey's a beast. She handled it. And, yeah, if you don't have Jean Grey, I think as long as you have Onslaught, should be fine. Alright, and then we get to this next fight, Medusa. Now, I'd say this was like the second most difficult fight on this path. Again, on my first run, by the time I got here, my Symbiote Supreme was low health, and then I died. And I was like, oh man, I just restarted. But yeah, here this time, I'm going to go for a little bit of a different approach. So she has one-eyed open, so you don't want to attack her when stunned. But for Symbiote Supreme, in this armor phase, parrying applies those staggers, which is actually what I was going for. So that's why I was parrying, but not attacking. So now we get to our special 3. We have everything nice and lined up. Now we're going to go crazy. I do have a 150% Mystic Power back boost on. That is definitely benefiting us. So boom, pop that, and then boom, special 2, boom, boom, boom. And we timed it perfectly, so the protection, ebb and flow knockdown triggered as well. Another special 2, just so much damage. We didn't even get a crit there. And yet we did so much damage. Then we throw the special 3 with all those armor breaks, 200,000 damage, and then one more special 2. Bye-bye, Medusa. Alright, so that was like as far as I had gotten, you know, on my first run. That's where I got to. And that's new uncharted territory. So I get to this Korg thinking it's not going to be, you know, anything crazy. I never looked at this Korg, and I realized it's Hazard Shift, Poison, Rupture. I was like, I don't have a Poison Immune or a Rupture Immune champion on my team. Damn it. I am an idiot and should have looked ahead and scouted a little bit better. I was like, well, Absorbing Man, you know, in his Uru form, he has a lot of physical resistance, so the Rupture shouldn't be a problem. You know, that's what I was thinking. But I get cornered right away. Off to a terrible start. Eating his Thorns damage. Thankfully, I only got 1 poison on me, so, you know, that's not too bad. Here we get some ruptures on us, but again, those we should be healing from with willpower. Yeah, I'm taking 96, and I'm healing like 294. Tried to heavy into the special 1, didn't really work. So, you know, you can see this fight, it's not going so great. Here, I'm trying to maintain my form, so I did a few hits, but I got 3 poison debuffs on me, so that wasn't very good. But we're back in the rupture phase. This fight, man, so sketchy. Here I throw this. Somehow I time it just perfectly enough so that he's not unblockable and unstoppable still. Yeah, we've done a total of 12%. We just caught a nice combo to the face. We just got more poison debuffs. Dude, things are not going good here. Things are not going good. And I'm dead. I was like, dude, am I going to have to restart again? I was like, maybe Onslaught can do this. You know, if I just play kind of slow. So there's actually a combat regen boost and a power start 1 on this fight. So that's really nice. I love how they can stack, you know, multiple of those boosts. Like in actual Alliance War, you can only have 1 of those gray boosts. But here, you could technically have all 3. So that's neat. So with just 1 Rupture debuff, I'm actually healing. So that's cool. Even with 2, okay, I think above 2, I'm starting to take some damage. But yeah, it's not too bad. We got off the special 1. I just need a heavy right now. I might get poisoned, but I just need a heavy. Alright, boom. Didn't get a poison on me there. That's great. So we got the pause. You can see we have 12 daunted effects right now because he keeps shrugging all the debuffs, so they keep getting replaced by passives. And so, boom. Now we're going to throw the relic, heavy, special 2. We got 9 degens. You know, that's not a ton, but it's something. It's something. So the goal now is just to continue pausing those degens. That's actually the first special Korg through. So I was like, oh yeah, the tactic of him going unblockable. I forgot about that. And Jean, by the way, is tactic, so she can counter that, which is nice. Another reason why I brought her along. But then, yeah, we just get back to a special 1 here. I throw this, and he's cooked, dude. He is cooked. Throw the relic for good measure. One more heavy to lock in those degens. We got Korg, dude. I didn't have any immunities for him, but Onslaught is him, bro. So, yeah, if you have an Onslaught, even a 6-star, I highly recommend bringing him to this quest. Alright, then we get to the boss, and it is a Sersi. So, I didn't think that I needed another champ. I got some Supreme, but I was like, you know, let's just bring some backup just in case. I'm going to bring in the homie Juggernaut as some backup. You know, you can never go wrong with a nice pair of jugs. Rank 3 jugs, he hits pretty damn hard. Great champ. Alright, but Sersi here. Let's get into this fight. The boss. So, just shy of 1,000,000 health. We got Power Star 1 and Invulnerability, so that's pretty lit. So, you know, the main thing with fighting Sersi is just that glancing buff. So, boom, there we go. It triggers. So now I try to nullify it with the special 1. That didn't work. And all those regen buffs, you know, just fueling my power with MD. So I just get right to a special 3. So I just rip it. Now, the special 3 should nullify all of the buffs. Because this pink blessing, the one you start with, that just nullifies all the buffs off the opponent. So when you throw the special 3, it re-triggers them all. So, yeah. But now she's really close to a special 3. So I was like, I guess YOLO? Because we have the invulnerability boost. And Sim Supreme, with his armor icon, also has a built-in safety net of about like 7.5%. So, like, we're fine. You know, we're totally fine. You get to watch Sersi's special 3 animation. And so that is going to apply an Incinerate debuff to me. And then here, just, I was blocking, but with the tactic, you know, she's unblockable. So I got caught by that. Then here, the glancing buff gets triggered once again. So I'm kind of just wasting specials here. Probably should not have done that. But it's fine. So here we get back to another special 3. Going to throw this just to immediately nullify that glancing. The glancing at this point was pissing me off. And I just skipped the special 3. So boom, now I can go to town without that glancing debuff up. And we have, you know, some fate seals up now. So that's going to prevent the glancing from triggering. And then boom, we get to our special 2. We get that power steal cooking up. Another special 2. No crits, unfortunately. But 6 armor breaks into an immediate special 3. And that is Sersi cooked, my friends. So yeah, that is the brand new Dark Phoenix Showcase. The right side completely itemless, destroyed by primarily Sim Supreme and Onslaught. If you have those 2 champions, they're gonna do great for you. You know, if you also have Jean Grey, then you're gonna be big chillin', you know. And if you want to bring an Absorb Man for Knull, I don't think it's a bad idea. Or if you'd rather bring in, you know, a counter for Korg, that's fair enough. But guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for part 1 here, the right side. I will also be working on the left side right after I upload this, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to wrap it up for this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed the itemless clear on the right side. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below if you've already tackled this and who you used, who was your team. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.